Today is a heartbreaking day for WWE fans because our tribal chief couldn't get the job done. Our tribal chief lost his bid for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships due to forces outside of his control. And I know, just like me, you're probably feeling the worst you felt since Sami Zayn stabbed Roman in the back after our tribal chief did everything for him. But don't worry, our tribal chief will come back stronger and take the titles off of those pesky Canadians. And you can believe that. And we'll talk more about the main event in a little while. But welcome to the Jobbing Jabronis review of the WWE Night of Champions premium live event. This was the first Night of Champions live event since 2015, and it was held in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Why Jeddah, you ask? Well, because WWE loves money more than anything else, and because they have a 10-year deal with the Saudi government they can't get out of, nor would they want to get out of. The deal with Saudi Arabia brings WWE more money each year than WrestleMania. Night of Champions featured a historic 37 main events. Never been done before. The greatest Night of Champions. The first main event was Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. The second main event was Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar in a grudge match. Now, you might be wondering why WWE decided to create a new World Heavyweight Championship when they already have the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship. Well, the answer is pretty simple: because they can. And because they know 90% of the people shitting on this new belt online already have their replica belt orders in. Let's talk about the other matches on the card. Quick preview. We had Gunther versus Mustafa Ali for the Intercontinental Championship. This comes after Mustafa Ali won a battle royal for the privilege of getting absolutely gaped by Gunther in Saudi Arabia. We also had Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a dream match that nobody asked for. Night of Champions gave us surprises. It gave us shocks. Night of Champions broke our hearts. Let's get another review. We open up the show with the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship match, AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins, and this was some of the best wrestling I've seen since last night when I was up till 3 a.m. watching reruns of Cops. But I kind of figured AJ wasn't going to beat Seth because AJ has kind of missed a step. He's been out for a long time, and Seth Rollins has just been on top of his game, feels like, for years now. There's a reason they call this man Seth Franklin Rollins, and he really showed why tonight. Not only was his wrestling game on point, his fashion was on point, his the proverbial silver tongue that Seth Rollins showed tonight really displayed why he deserves to be the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does, and damn, does he look good with that new belt. The card also featured Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. And this match, stemmed from their rivalry that kind of started at WrestleMania 39 when the seeds of jealousy were planted. And I have nothing but respect for Trish as a wrestler, as a person. She is a legend in this business and a trailblazer for women's wrestling. And it made me very sad to see that Becky Lynch refused to acknowledge everything Trish Stratus has done for this business. The kind of selfishness I would have never expected to see out of Becky Lynch. The only thing Trish Stratus wanted, the reason they're fighting, all Trish wanted was just some basic acknowledgement of the paving, the building she's done for the women's division. Becky is only wrestling because Trish walked so that Becky could run. And Becky couldn't even give her that. And what is Trish going to do? Just, sit on the sidelines while Becky disrespects her? Absolutely not. So Trish did what any self-respecting wrestling legend would do. She jumped Becky Lynch from behind. She she defended the tag team titles with Becky on an episode of Raw. They lost the titles. Trish jumped her afterwards, rightfully so, leading into this match. And I'm so happy that Trish really put in the training and the work for this match and came out on top, showing Becky that she's not as good as she thinks she is. Trish is still the GOAT. She's the best women's wrestler of all time, and she really showed that tonight when she pinned Becky Lynch clean. The middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and nobody can contest what a clean pin that was, because I didn't see anything remotely out of the ordinary with that ending. Night of Champions also featured Gunther versus Mustafa Ali, as I mentioned earlier. Mustafa Ali earned that title shot by winning that Battle Royale or Gauntlet match, whatever it was, for the privilege of getting absolutely gaped by Gunther at Night of Champions. And you might be wondering who Gunther is, for those that maybe haven't watched regularly. He used to be known as Walter. He was a hefty boy, who would destroy people's chests with, chest chops, emitting about 20 billion newtons of power each. But WWE decided to change his name to Gunther for some reason. Maybe they thought Walter was too boring or too German or hard to spell or not German enough. Maybe they wanted to avoid confusion with other Walters in the world, such as Walter White, Walter Cronkite, Walter Matthew. Maybe they just wanted to mess with him and see how he would react, see if he has the blood of a wrestler. But I digress. Let's talk about the match. This match came down to Gunther's power versus Ali's speed. And you'd think Oberyn Martell versus the Mountain in Game of Thrones, except in this case, Gunther is about 5 times as fast as the Mountain. So what you get is a pretty predictable result where you still hoped, Ali would put on a good match, which he did, but ultimately we all knew he was going to get gaped. And that's exactly what happened, because Gunther just tossed Ali around like a rag doll, hit him with all the suplexes, clotheslines, power bombs, and the trademark chest chops that Gunther loves. And Ali tried to dodge Gunther as much as he could, but it didn't matter, because he is tiny. He is a child compared to Gunther, and Gunther obviously manhandled him. Gunther retains his title while Ali looked, frustrated and disappointed, because just 2 weeks ago, Ali was a winner again. His career was looking up, and now, he's on the same bench as Baron Corbin. You hate to see it. We'll see what he makes of this, but I personally won't be watching his matches anymore, because he is an undeniable loser, and I hope you don't watch his matches either. The show also featured Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. You'll recall Rhea Ripley won the SmackDown Women's title from Charlotte at WrestleMania 39. Natalya earned her title shot by, I'm assuming, winning a Battle Royale on SmackDown. That's how it usually goes when it's time for Natalya's yearly push. This was, I wouldn't necessarily call it a technical battle, because it lasted about 2 seconds. At some point, Dominic Mysterio distracted Natalya, and Rhea Ripley just decimated her. I actually, was in the middle of chomping down on a cheeseburger at the time, looked down for 1 second, and the match was over. Good display of wrestling ability for the little time they did get, and it makes sense for Rhea Ripley that she would absolutely dominate somebody like this early in her reign. The other women's championship match for the Raw Women's Championship featured Bianca Belair versus Asuka. And man, can't say I was necessarily expecting this. Classic, 2 of the best women's wrestlers in WWE today. Belair, after all, is the EST of WWE. She's the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, the smelliest, the bestest of them all. Asuka is the Empress of Tomorrow, which means she can travel in time and purchase clown makeup from the future to scare her opponents, which I love as a gimmick for her. She's living her best life. In the end, big upset, because Asuka won the Raw Women's Championship from Bianca Belair, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting. I didn't think Asuka would be the one to beat her for it. She hasn't really shown that instinct to really kill and finish the match. Bianca really got the best of her at WrestleMania, but not today. And Bianca's reign is done just like that. The second main event featured Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, a grudge match, if you will, a no holds barred, no disqualification, anything goes match is what it turned into, because Cody Rhodes went out there with a broken arm and an Exos cast, which Michael Cole would not stop talking about, which obviously, if you've ever seen any TV program or movie ever, that cast is going to come into play. Kept emphasizing how this cast was made out of just straight up titanium. And halfway through the match, while Lesnar is just clobbering Cody starts using the damn cast as a weapon, which you can kill somebody with that thing if it's actually made out of titanium. Look more like, a nice soft rubber to me, but what do I know? He kept whacking Lesnar over the head with it, dives, freaking, hammer fist from the top rope. And I'm surprised Brock Lesnar is still alive. Thank God that Brock Lesnar is the athlete that he is, because despite Cody Rhodes' cheating ways, his usage of illegal weapons, Brock Lesnar, the most decorated MMA athlete of all time, came out on top. For the finish, Cody Rhodes hit Lesnar with not one, not two, but 3 consecutive crossroads, but only got a 2 count. He went for a 4th crossroads, but he got countered into an F5, which led to a 2 count. And then Lesnar locked in that Kimura lock. And, Cody Rhodes tried to make himself look good by not tapping out to the Kimura lock from Brock Lesnar, but eventually he ended up passing out like the loser he is. We all know that he's a failure now, even if he uses illegal tactics and weapons during matches. And I hope that Brock Lesnar has a swift climb to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And finally, our main event, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, versus our tribal chief, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And this 6th match was obviously for the titles. Owens and Zayn won the titles from the Usos at WrestleMania 39, if you recall, after, a very long, heated feud where Sami Zayn was a brother of the Bloodline, ultimately decided to stab our tribal chief Roman Reigns in the back. Complete ingrates, just not thankful for everything Roman Reigns did for him. Everything Roman did to help his career made his career. And Sami Zayn paid him with a chair shot to the back at the Royal Rumble. This match was a big clash of personalities between the two teams. Owens and Zayn are best friends. They've been through everything, and they've been close for a long time. They've betrayed each other, more times than Roman Reigns has beat up the Usos. Reigns and Solo are cousins. They've got a blood bond that runs deep, and they're also ruthless. They love to dominate and destroy their opponents, destroy Canadians, if you will. The ending sequence happened when Sami Zayn hit a Superman punch on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns then went for his own spear on Sami, but hit the referee. And as is tradition, the Usos showed up, beat up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for a bit. Tension ensued. Roman got super pissed after the Usos accidentally double super kick Solo Sikoa, into the mat. Jimmy Uso, after watching Roman, physically assault Jey Uso in the middle of the ring in front of a capacity Jeddah crowd, super kicked Roman Reigns in the face twice. So you can imagine how the rest of the match turned out. Jay was conflicted about what Jimmy had just done. Roman was lying unconscious outside the ring. And then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens doubled up on Solo Sikoa for the win. We'll see what happens now. I think the Bloodline story just got immensely more interesting after having been in a little bit of a holding pattern since WrestleMania. Everybody thought Jay was going to be the one to betray Roman first, but it was actually Jimmy. And to be honest, I actually like this story more because, yeah, Jay should have clicked for him, and he should have realized how much Roman has manipulated him. But Jimmy being the one to finally kick Roman in the head sends the very strong message to Jay that this could have all been prevented if he just acted from the beginning. Yeah, there you go. Night of Champions 2023 was a mixed bag of highs and lows. Great matches, some bad matches, some ugly matches, some big surprises, some new champions. And I'd actually, give this pay-per-view a solid, 9 out of 10. What do you think of Night of Champions 2023? What was your favorite match? What did you think of the ending? What did you think of Jimmy finally turning on Roman? Let me know in the comments. Bye-bye.